Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, February 16th, 2025, and we're back in Ashland this morning to start day 8 of the Bayou State Trail. And we're basically going to be doing about the same distance we've been doing the last couple of days. Some days it's about 15 miles, some days it's a little over, closer to 16. Today's going to be about 16, as we're going to be continuing along the Louisiana Trail section from here over to the town of Goldonna. We are a short distance away from getting back on trail, and I'll show it to you when we get there. All right, this is where I came in last time for day number 7. I did want to point out something I forgot to mention. About a half a mile back this way, there was a sign that I had shown in my last photo before the end of day 7. And it was for Sullivan's Grocery. It's right off trail, so they do have a lot of stuff over there. So when you do come into Ashland, you do have that option. But in the meantime, we're now going to go ahead and get back on right here and head our way towards Goldonna. Those shots I took a little while ago looked like it was some wild hogs. We're not sure, but they were a good little distance away from us. And of course, by the time we got close, they ran off. But you know, it's still fairly early in the morning, so they're probably out eating, and you're gonna catch some of that once in a while. But so far, it looks like the conditions of the trail's a lot better. There is water flowing on one side of the trail, and it looks like it's going to be like this for a little while. The rest of it's fine. We did have a lot of rain come through here last night, which explains it. But outside of that, they haven't had to deal with a lot of those large holes to walk around. Now, we're only about a mile or so into the hike, but so far so good. So we'll see how it looks over the next few miles. Well, we've come up to our first real major blowdown on the Bayou State Trail. Like I mentioned earlier, we had rain last night. There was some wind up here. So we're gonna get across this, but we're gonna be stopping for a break in a few minutes. We're about a mile north of Chestnut, which is close to the midway mark between today's hike. So we'll go ahead and go a little further, and then we'll stop and take a break from there. I just finished taking a break about 7 miles in, about a mile north of Chestnut. Very small community. I'm gonna show it to you when we get there, but it looks like they don't have anything. So it's just one of those that you just kind of go through. They're probably not going to have any place to stop or eat or drink. So keep that in mind on this section of the trail. There are a few water sources. We've crossed a couple of bridges earlier, and because of the rainfall we had, there are some spots alongside of the trail where the water's pretty clear and you can just pick that up and filter it out. But yeah, we're about 9 miles away from finishing today, and it's been better so far overall. I mean, there's been some deep holes like we had on day 6 and 7, but not at the same frequency, and really not very challenging either. I think there may have been one where we really had to try a little hard to skirt around, but overall the trail's in great condition. It's been very good so far today. It's chilly, that's why I got my hoodie on. It's been in the 40s all day. So I'll show you some more stuff here. We're now up to the small community of Chestnut. And this is Highway 9. Takes you in, but again, I don't think they have any amenities. It's just a few houses. So we're about halfway through now today's hike. We're about 8 miles to go before we get to Goldonna. We're less than 3 miles before we reach Goldonna, but that last picture I showed you looked like it was some good spots for campgrounds. Well, sure enough, when I looked it up on the map, we're actually now inside the Winn district of Kisatchie National Forest. So you can see by the signage here, this is all part of the Forestry Service. So my suggestion would be, unless you're kind of in a pinch for food and water, you might want to just camp out here and then make your way to Goldonna the next morning, since it's so close. Again, it's less than 3 miles away. So anyhow, again, we're almost done with today. So as you can see, we're in Goldonna. I'm just noticing there's even a couple of electrical outlets. You might be able to at least charge your phone. So right here is a coffee shop, and then you can see down straight ahead where the stop sign is. Turn right. There's a little station down the road that serves hot food. I'll probably spot it when we come back out for day number 9. But yeah, there are a couple of things. Now it is Sunday. Doesn't look like anyone else is out here. So you may not be able to find anything open, but generally most of the week it is. So we're gonna get back to our truck now. You can see this is a very nice pavilion, by the way. This is the nicest one I've seen so far with all the tables. But we're gonna get back to my truck in Ashland, and I'll give you my thoughts on day number 8 of the Bayou State Trail. Well, closing out day number 8, I have to say that this was a very, very good day. I mean, the whole section has been great overall because it's been a nature trail. And of course, if you've been watching the last couple of videos, I've been pointing out the fact that there's some spots that are kind of rough. There were a couple of more today. There were some spots we had to go around. And of course, it did rain hard again, like I said earlier. It rained hard last night. But there were some sections that was awesome. The surface was better. The scenery was great. We weren't along a road much at all. I mean, the only time we interacted with anything in between Ashland and Goldonna is when we crossed over Highway 9 over in Chestnut, and it was very small. So we were way out there. It was very secluded. Cutting through that section at Kisatchie was definitely a plus as well. And I wanted to point some things out. If you notice, there's some campsites. I mean, they're not designated, but you can camp out when you're in the Kisatchie district. Just make sure that you follow your map carefully, and you do have a map that shows the property boundaries. But it's within about 4 or 5 miles before you get to Goldonna, you start hitting that. So all in all, I mean, this was, definitely one of the better days, not only on the Louisiana Trail section, but I'd have to say overall, since I started this trail back in October. I will be back soon. We're gonna go ahead and finish up this section, hopefully in the next week or 2 for day number 9, where we're gonna hook back up in Goldonna and make our way over to the Gum Springs campground. So thanks for watching today, and I'll see you again soon on the Bayou State Trail.